Hello. I have taped, and I will probably also post um, a version of the Fool, the card that we come to today, the kind of spoiler that jumps in there between card 20, um, the Angel or Judgment, where we are supposed to have been woken up, gotten the call to wake up, to rise from the dead. Where supposedly we get it, we see something, we understand something. And then the Fool, like, just sort of jumps in there between that sort of moment of awakening, that epiphany moment, and the world, where we come back down to earth. Um, so I had taped or videotaped one, and I will probably post it also, that said much of what I said at the end of the what I posted for Judgment or the Angel. It sort of elaborated a little bit more on it. Like Dorothy with the red slippers, we find ourselves, that it was always there, it was always us, it was always in us. And that's true. That's true. And that is all and maybe that's what you experienced. Maybe you experienced a ecstatic epiphany moment and a kind of glorious return to understanding that it was you all along, and it was there in you all along, and that it's just you. But let me tell you, I mean, just for those of you who feel that maybe you're not doing it right, or maybe it's just like, it's just not coming the way that it sounds like in my positive, upbeat way I'm describing it. Let me tell you about my Judgment Angel wake-up call and my Fool experience. Because I, too, am taking this trip with you, as I have taken it before, and as all of us will take it many times again, whether we use the cards or not. So my wake-up call was being rushed to the emergency room because I suddenly started vomiting and couldn't walk and couldn't move. I'd had a very stressful day and a very stressful week, and it was at the end, emotionally, physically, obviously, psychologically, on every level, at the end of my rope. Went over to a friend's house who was also teaching me a Sanskrit class, and in the middle we were talking about stuff. First, he said something, and I had to go to the bathroom and start vomiting. Then I came back to try to do the class, but then I had to go back and vomit. And then eventually I'm crawling, and he's like, I've got to call EMT because, you're getting hydrated. And I have one of those, like, splitting dehydrated headaches where you can barely move your head. And finally, no, don't call EMT. Finally, I let him call EMT. What they could do wasn't enough, so I'd take me to the hospital, where it turned out there was 4 other people who had come in with the same kind of symptoms, and it's some sort of norovirus that's going around that, lasts 3 days or whatever. But, when I was in the hospital for the requisite 8 hours, whatever they keep you in while they do all the tests, still vomiting and, less dehydrated because they were giving me the fluids. And you know that you're in a bad place when you're going into the emergency room and you think, oh my God, at least somebody else is going to take care of me right now. Anyhow, so the emergency room, go home, go to sleep. And as I go to sleep, I'm thinking, that's got to be the end of something. I mean, the emergency room, it's got to be a climax of some sort. There's got to be some sort of, like, peace or understanding or awareness I come to after this. Not like I went to bed with that. But I just was thinking, it's got to be that. I wake up the next morning, and I wake up with the exact same thought. Not even just the same feelings, but the exact same thought that I had had in November. A negative thought that had started me on what my particular path was for trying to come to some sort of deeper, broader, wider, more expansive and compassionate view of a situation that is very difficult and very demanding and very stressful and very painful for me, that I've been dealing with. I woke up with right back at the beginning, the exact same thought, the one that I'd been working with, the one that I had been that I had gotten beyond, as I was working through other things beyond, that I had and I thought, all this work, all these months, all this everything, all this effort, and I'm back there again? Back to the Fool. So I was like, oh God. Get up, feed the cat, go outside and sit. Which, since my situation has something to do with our home, and having to leave it at first sitting in the backyard is painful because that's what I'm going to have to leave, what I've done, what I've planted there. And as I sit and sit for a while longer and more thoughts, and of course, that coming back to that back same thought, thinking all my work, all my effort, all my struggle, all my good intentions, all of my, heartfelt attempt to move beyond a bad place where I was, nothing. I mean, we're talking, so this is going to be a despairing moment where you think you're at the low, you're thinking, why even bother? But as I sit and look and think about, for me, all the stuff coming back about, what this place means to me and what my particular regrets were, and a number of different thoughts kind of pushed through and moved through until, my thought had something to do with the regret of something that I hadn't done. And I thought, I wish I were the kind of person who knew what they want, no matter what other people said, all the time, and went after it, fought like hell for their particular goal or desire, against all odds, no matter what anybody else says. I wish I was that kind of person, and I wish I'd acted that way under a certain circumstance, even though that way too may have had other negative effects. But I'm not. I'm not that person. And that doesn't mean I can't try to be at times, but I have to know who I am. And even though I'm not, I often disappoint myself, and I'm neither the ideal version of myself, nor am I the crappy version that I come up with of myself sometime. I'm just, just me, and that's what I have to work with. I don't have all the qualities I wish I had. I have some good qualities, and those are great. It's not like they make up for the qualities that seem lacking. But this is me. And that's what it means. And so that back at square one that I felt, it's like you're always back at square one because it's always you. And sometimes you do progress in some development, particular development of personality or of skills or of position. But knowing yourself and knowing who you are and knowing that that's the gift of a lifetime is to be who you are. It doesn't mean that you just give up and don't try anything, but it does mean that you recognize the fool when you see it, and you let yourself laugh. And I have to say, too, like the image of the fool, I've shown you the pictures of the fool. The image of the fool that came back to me, I don't have it, here it is, was this one. Like, not this, like me, the person being born. It was this. It's like the trickster, the ha ha ha, fooled you. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that. It actually doesn't mean you failed. It means you did it. And there you are. There you are. And that's the beauty, to see that there you are. Like every step, there's a quality of grace and a quality of effort. No matter how you feel, no matter whether it feels good or bad, as you deal with your own particular version of the fool that pops up in your face before you return back to the world, the grace of what it is and the effort of seeing beneath the surface of it is what takes you to the place where you really do see something bigger. So that's why all that we have really is the fool. And sometimes it seems like us, and sometimes it seems like a trickster. So, in that sense, may we all be fools. May we all learn to enjoy this imperfect, sometimes stupid, and sometimes brilliant, and sometimes loving, and sometimes blind being that we have been gifted with. And may we all enjoy the foolishness of that whole entire practice. See you soon next with the world.